serving as principal of East Arbor. This is my 5th year as principal and my 10th year with NHA. I have 2 amazing children who attend East Arbor, one in 5th grade and one who is in 2nd. And as you can see, I enjoy watching students master a new concept. We want to answer all of your questions, so please, please, please place them in the chat, and we will answer any questions that you have at the end of the presentation. I would like to welcome Ms. Killebrew, who is our kindergarten through 2nd grade dean.
Hello, everyone. It's so nice to see all these new faces. Thank you for joining us tonight. I am Ryan Killebrew. I'm the Dean of Lower Elementary, kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade. This is my 2nd year in this role and my 10th year with East Arbor. It's such a fantastic place to be. A little bit about myself on the page, and I am so excited about meeting our new kinder families and watching them grow and learn throughout the year. And I'm going to turn it over to Miss Bloom.
Hi, I'm Miss Stephanie Bloom. I recently moved to the Ann Arbor area, and this is my 1st year teaching a wonderful class of kindergartners at East Arbor. I'm really excited to get to know new kinders and their families.
Hi everyone, my name is Mrs. Martin. This is my 7th year here at East Arbor and my 7th year teaching kindergarten. I have 2 beautiful little girls. On that picture, my daughter Scarlett just turned 5, so she is going to be going to kindergarten next year as well, which is very exciting and scary all at the same time. And then my other daughter, Amelia, she is going to be 18 months old soon. And I am just very excited. Every year it's always exciting to welcome new families into my classroom and see all my kindergarten students learn and grow.
Hi everyone, I am Miss Vail, and this is also my 7th year teaching at East Arbor. My 6th year in kindergarten. I started in 2nd grade, but I absolutely love the kinders. Don't tell my 2nd graders I said that. But anyway, I have 2 lovely kids. My daughter attended East Arbor for the entire time for her elementary career. She is now in 10th grade, attending Y-High, and my son Remy in the picture, he is a 7th grader at East Arbor, so you can see that we adore East Arbor. I'm always excited to meet new kinder families and teaching kinders to develop a love for learning.
Okay, so we wanted to go through a little bit of what a day in the life of a kindergarten student looked like. So as you can see, here's our typical schedule. Of course, it changes a little bit each year, but we arrive bright and early, 7:50 in the morning. Starting at 8:15, we will either go to morning assembly or we focus on our moral focus instruction time. So that's where we learn some of the moral focus virtues and we talk about them each month. At 8:30, we do a read aloud. At 8:50 this year is when we start doing our literacy block, which is a 3 rotation schedule. So there's one group that meets with the teacher and works through a comprehension skill. There's one group that works with an interventionist that works through their phonics skills. And then one group that is an independent time, working independently on Chromebooks or other engaging activities. We have a little bit of writing time after that. And then after writing is either math story and math instruction. So a math story is a math story, word problem story, and then we go into our math lesson. Then of course the lunch and recess. And then after recess is when we finish our math instruction and do a little bit of our workplaces time. And workplaces is similar to literacy block in that it's an independent activity. Sometimes it's games, sometimes it's more of an interactive activity. We have specials after that. We'll talk about what our specials are a little bit later. After specials, We do either science or social studies lessons, and we tend to rotate those. We'll do one social studies unit, and then we'll switch to a science unit, and then switch back to social studies, and so on. And then we end the day with recess again and dismissal.
Is this me? Sorry. All right, so we have 4 special classes and they rotate daily. So we would rotate through art, technology, gym, and then music. In art, the kinders will do some painting, drawing, cutting, and creating awesome things. They love it. Our technology, they learn basic skills and typing. In gym, the kinders are allowed to wear their gym shoes on gym days. They can wear them to school, and they must have gym shoes on in order to participate. We also have our music class, which they will do music exploration, singing, and they get a little introduction to some of the instruments.
So here's a little bit about our moral focus curriculum. So in addition to academics, we also incorporate our moral focus virtues to create a well-balanced education. Throughout the first trimester, we'll focus on wisdom, respect, and gratitude. Then we will focus on self-control, perseverance, and courage. And lastly, in our third trimester, we will focus on encouragement, compassion, and integrity.
So a little bit more about our ELA, or English Language Arts curriculum. As I mentioned in our schedule, we do a lot of read alouds. We have a set time in the morning for our read aloud, and then also during literacy block is when we focus on the read aloud again, and each read aloud is based off of a comprehension skill. There are phonics instruction, as well as, of course, skill of the week, which I mentioned. We definitely focus on handwriting at the beginning of the year and throughout the year as well. And we focus on a few sight words each week. And like I mentioned before, our small group instruction, so the literacy block, it has the teacher group, the reading mastery group, and the asynchronous or independent learning time.
Next, we'll talk a little bit about math. We have 3 components to math. Actually, there's a 4th one, but I'll mention that in 1 second. We have our math story, which engages students in their critical thinking skills. They're word problems, and we start each lesson with a math story. Then we have our daily lesson, which is our math lesson, and those follow our Common Core standards. And then workplaces, like Mrs. Martin mentioned, there are a lot of hands-on activities and games, and it also offers the students a choice of activities, so that's pretty cool. We also do number corners, which is like our calendar in the morning, and some little math skills that we do, our daily skills, counting the days in school and things like that.
Here's a little bit about our science and social studies curriculum. Our science units include the scientific methods, weather, so learning about different types of weather and different seasons, ecosystems, and forces of motion. During social studies, we'll learn about economics, geography, history, and civics.
Okay, so switching gears a little bit, talking about field trips, always a fun time. We tend to take about 3 field trips per year, and they're usually pretty curriculum based. In the past, we have gone to Wired's Apple Orchard, and that ties into our unit on life cycle. So we learn about apple life cycle, pumpkin life cycle. I'm going to get to pick apples and pumpkins. We have gone to the Ann Arbor Hands-On Museum, so there's a lot of science and STEM activities. We've done a couple of the labs within the Hands-On Museum. And then we've also gone to high velocity sports, where we get to do a lot of physical activities, rotate through basketball and dodgeball and learning how to play soccer and some team sports. So that's been a lot of fun as well.
All right, so moving into the different type of assessments that we have. Our first one is Ames Web, and it's phonics fluency. This is based on letter sounds for kindergarten, is trying to have each kindergartner achieve 46 letter sounds per minute. That is our goal by the end of the year in kindergarten. Then we have math. In math, we have our numeracy assessment that we take 3 times a year. And then our NWEA testing. This test is only taken in the fall. It is an adaptive test. This is an excellent assessment for teachers, for us teachers, because it gives us a great idea of where the students are exactly, and then we are able to tailor the curriculum to their needs. It's taken online, and it's kindergarten takes math and reading.
Here's some information on the scoring scale that we use in all our classrooms. We don't have letter grades, so we don't have your standard A, B, and C. We use a 3.0 scale, and a 3.0 is considered grade level at the end of the year. 3.5 or 4.0 would be considered above grade level. And we have scored assessments given throughout the week, so usually 2 assessments per subject area that will be entered into our parent portal for parent viewing.
So snack and lunch, which always seems to be the favorite time for students. We eat both snack and lunch in our classrooms, and we encourage polite eating behaviors. We encourage healthy, smart options for snacks and for lunch. We have a snack time that's scheduled once per day. It depends, every year it's different. Sometimes it's in the morning, sometimes it's in the afternoon, but we try to make sure it's scheduled not too close to breakfast, not too close to lunch. So it's a good amount of time in between when they've eaten last. And then just always remember, we are a nut-free school.
So we just wanted to say thank you. We are excited to get to know you and your scholar this year, or this coming year. We will have lots of fun learning together. This is my favorite. Buckle up, be patient, and enjoy the ride.
So one last thing that we feel like really resonates with us, because each child is an individual. You know, we use our assessments. We actually have a KRA assessment that was new to us last year. We didn't take it this year due to the current circumstances, but it really gives us an idea of where each child is coming to us at, and we really drive our instruction based on our assessment. So just a little thing to send you off before we get to the questions. Popcorn is prepared in the same pot, in the same heat, and the same oil, and yet the kernels do not pop at the same time. Don't compare your child to other children. They turn to, I can't read that word. They turn to pop. Their turn to pop is coming. I'm sorry, I'm so small. Their turn to pop is coming. So remember that we're not comparing them to anyone else. They're each an individual, and we treat them that way in the classroom. So the chat box is open. If you have any questions, please feel free to type them in there, and we will address all the questions that you guys have. No questions so far. I see a hand raised. Go ahead. Rachel?
Hi, hello. My name is Rachel, and this is my daughter Oksana.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Oh, I saw a question there. That was my question. Do you guys know at this point if kindergarten will be in person?
I turned 5.
Awesome. It sounds like you're ready.
She is. She's really ready, and so we want to get her in school, and we want to be safe with COVID. But I also don't know if virtual would work at her age level, and so I was wondering if you guys have in school or at least a hybrid option available. And then one more question, so I don't have to raise my hand again, because I already did the initial, like, you put in your name and your information, do an application. When would we be hearing back to hear if we have a slot? And those are my those are my two questions. And so I can mute myself, and then I'll shut up and listen.
Thank you for the questions.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are going to be in person next year. As far as I know, that is the option, to be in person. We have not heard any information about being virtual. So the plan is to be in person. I don't know if you know, we have a plan to go fully in person with our virtual option for those who choose it this year on March 15th. And we have quite a few families who are coming back. So with the safety protocols and all the safety measures we have in place, it's proven to be very safe. So we're excited to have the kiddos back in school. As far as enrollment, I know our open enrollment period is ending soon. I can't speak exactly to when you might hear back, so Mrs. Newby can probably answer that one.
So you should be hearing back probably this week. I know that my registrar is going through the applications now, so it should be pretty soon. But I'll definitely make sure that I take down your name so that she can reach out to you tomorrow to make sure that everything is in place, okay?
Okay, so I saw a few more questions in here. Classes will be in person. Services available for children who might need speech therapy and extra help. Yes, we have a full-time speech language pathologist on our staff. She is awesome. So any student who comes to us with speech needs or an IEP, she gets those from their files, and she will reach out to you to begin services. Virtual classes, as of right now, we will not have a virtual option next year. We do plan to go full in person. What safety measures are in place at this time? So there's quite a few. We have right now, currently we have 2 virtual classes per grade level and 1 in person. Come March 15th, that'll switch. We'll have 2 in person and 1 virtual, so that we are able to keep the class sizes small. And that way we're able to social distance students based on the CDC guidelines, which says 3 to 6 feet. In each classroom, we have tape on the floor, so each student has their own little space, their square, so that they are spaced out between students. They do have to wear masks at all times. The only exception is during lunch, where they are in their seat 3 to 6 feet apart from the student next to them. We have tons of hand sanitizer that we're constantly having students sanitize their hands, wash their hands. The kindergarten classrooms actually have their own bathroom, and they have a sink in their classroom. So as much as possible, we do encourage them to wash their hands because we know that is a safer option. But when not an option, we do have them use hand sanitizer. We have a few of them in the hallway now, hand sanitizer machines. I know for specials, when they're transitioning, they clean their hands before they go in and before they go out. We have feet in the hallway that keep students distance in lines. And then currently we are not going out to recess just because of, the distancing issue. We are planning to go out to recess starting March 15th. With safety protocols in place where students need to be spaced out, wear their masks, and we are sanitizing the climber with our disinfectant spray. Our custodial staff does spray throughout the building at 1 o'clock every day, and they clean the high touch points throughout the day, so that we're making sure that the high touch points are sanitized throughout the day. I think I've touched on a lot of them. I may be missing some. We do take temperatures before they come in the building as well. I was discussing with my son's pediatrician programs in place for students who have ADHD that offer extra support. Absolutely. We have a lot of para support when necessary. The kindergarten classrooms actually have a para in them who is actually their reading mastery teacher, but it's another adult in the classroom with them. Depending on the situation, you would probably have to reach out to the school to talk through your specific situation. We do have 504s for students with ADHD and IEPs if that's the appropriate route. But I encourage you to reach out to the school. We can direct you to the right person to talk through your specific situation and your son's needs. What is the estimated capacity for each classroom? Currently, based on our in-person population, we have about, it varies from grade to grade. I think max in K2 right now is about 18 once we come in person. I don't know exactly what it looks like next year. It depends on, our enrollment and number of students in each grade. We will have all 3 teachers in person, which helps to keep the classroom numbers lower. Do the children have to wear gym PE uniform, or do they wear their uniform? They wear their school uniform. Every day they wear their school uniform unless it's a spirit day, which will be communicated. It's once a month. They can wear their East Arbor spirit wear. Will the admissions email come from? Our registrar's name is Adrienne Velthoven. She deals with all of our admissions. Stephanie Laurie is here too. She is our admissions rep. So she makes a lot of those phone calls as well. So either one of those you might receive admissions emails from, but most likely if you're enrolled and registered, it would be Adrienne. It looks like the last question for right now. Is there any other questions? Rachel, do you have another question?
There's a question about homework in the chat, Ms. Kilber.
Okay. How much homework do kids usually have? In kindergarten, we typically do a packet for the week. So it'd be 1 page. Well, you guys did it differently. Do one of you want to speak to what you've been doing the last couple of years? Amy, go ahead.
So in the last couple of years, we have done kind of like a tic-tac-toe bingo board where there's a bunch. We usually do about 9 activities, and the student gets to choose 3 activities. So it's a little bit more engaging. They have a little bit more choice throughout the week. And then there's also usually a reading log that goes with that as well to encourage reading about 15 minutes per night.
Thank you. There's another question. How is pickup handled? I'll have an older child starting as well. Do they meet up at the end of the day? So we have something called Driveline, where you will receive a number for your family. And so what you do is you follow the cones throughout the parking lot. You'll pull up in front of the building. There's 2 lines, and so we are out in the parking lot entering numbers, and the students stay in the classroom until their number pops up on the board. When they see their number, they come out to the front. We have the cars move up, and when they see their car and that set of cars is done moving, we have them just get into the car. So it can be a long process at the beginning of the year, but it does get quicker throughout the school year. It's about 10 minutes right now, but they do get right into the car and then you're off on your day. So there will be information coming out about that once beginning of the year stuff, but it's a pretty easy process. You just pull up and the students get in.
So there's a question about parent volunteer opportunities. This year, there are no parent volunteer opportunities, and I think you know why. But next year, we'll definitely have, we invite parents into the classroom to help with small group. We always love lunch and recess help, so please come anytime for lunch and recess. But definitely the teacher will coordinate a schedule to see when parents are willing to help and come into the classroom, but we definitely welcome parents. There's another question about diversity in numbers among students and staff. So currently we have about, usually boy girls is about 50-50, and then black white, so about 55-ish% African American, and about a little my number's about to be wrong, so about 55, and then I would say 30-some% white, nope, maybe a little higher, 40. And then we have several students who come from other countries with different languages. We have about 10% population of EL students, and we have a full-time EL teacher on staff. We also have a pretty diverse staff, I would say, as well, that represent the student population.
So there's another question about Young Fives. It is no longer, unfortunately, our numbers were too low. So we did have a Young Fives program at the beginning of this year before school started, and we did move those students up to kindergarten. And what they were told that, you know, we would monitor them. They are progress monitored for reading. We monitor their math grades and their math assessments. And, you know, that's communicated at several points throughout the year. If they are not ready for kindergarten, you can always choose to hold them back. But you know, as we had talked about in the classroom, we have differentiated instruction. So we teach to many different levels within one classroom, and our programs are set up to meet students where they are. So I would encourage you to reach out to the school. I can definitely talk through the signs that you're seeing that you feel are not ready, what we currently see in the classroom, and then you can make your decision from there. The email from Adrian states that East Arbor will not be needing a lottery this year, and all students will be accepted at the end of open enrollment. Is that correct? That is correct. That looks like the last question for right now. Any other questions? All right. Well, if that is it, we really appreciate your time and you joining us tonight. We are so excited to get to know you more. We do often send information through email, so any communication, check your email. It'll be coming most likely that way. Adrian does reach out as well via phone if needed. So if there's nothing else, we appreciate your time, and I hope you guys have an awesome night.
And just remember, as Ms. Killebrew said, if there are individual circumstances, please reach out to the school. We're more than happy to schedule a one-on-one meeting to talk through any of your concerns about special education, 504s, ADHD, or anything like that, so that we can make sure that we're catering to your individual needs. Have a great evening.